Hi folks, it's Kino. Welcome to the video. If you could leave a like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Thanks. I just finished the first playthrough of The Last of Us 2 last night, and I've slept on my thoughts, and I don't really know how to feel at this moment. I have so many mixed emotions, but I'll do my best to describe how I'm feeling as accurately and as honestly as I can. This first video will contain no spoilers, but in the second video later on this week, I'll go more in depth about the details of the story that I liked or disliked. Firstly, I just want to say that as a game, regardless of the story, this is a near masterpiece. That's in terms of combat, world aesthetic, gameplay, customization, music, etc. So basically that's a short part of the review, It's okay to have separate opinions about the game and the story. They don't have to be intertwined or interlinked, they don't have to be the same. You can separate these two thoughts. Now, as for the story, it's extremely polarizing and controversial, I get that. I really loved the first half of the game. I enjoyed the more in-depth exploration possibilities, and finding loot felt rewarding. Meeting the new characters was refreshing, and I found myself getting attached to some of them. But at the halfway point of the game, I began to lose interest. I didn't really care for where the plot was going at some points. I just wanted to go put the controller down and just not proceed because I knew what was going to happen next. I just didn't want to participate in what was going to happen. I actively just didn't want to do it. This was in stark contrast to the first game, where you only really divide your care between Ellie and Joel, but in this game it's divided between at least probably, a dozen characters. And there was one particular character they wanted you to really care for or understand where they're coming from, kinda. But I just couldn't after an event early in the game. It was just hard for me to empathise with this character until a very late point. At a late point, I did kind of start to understand this person's motivations and emotions. But it was too late. There's a good portion of this second half of the game where you just really just don't want to partake in what's going on. And towards the end of the second part of the game, there's one scene you have to act out, and I really just wanted to put my controller down. I just didn't want to partake in it. I just didn't want to be involved. I literally wanted to put the controller down and walk away. I don't know. It was just painful. Some parts were painful. So if I loosely divide the story into three major parts, part 1, part 2, and the end. Part 1 was nearly perfect, except for one minor injustice. Part 2 was based on developing the interest in this character I've previously mentioned. That development of interest will vary between everybody, and that's kind of where the controversy starts for this game. But even still, at the end of this part 2 about this character, I don't care about this character anywhere near as much as I care about Ellie. Straight up. The end is a bit of a mixed bag. It could have been done better, I understand that. But I get the motivations behind the decisions made by the two major characters at the end. So overall, The Last of Us 2 builds on The Last of Us 1 as a game, but as a story, it's not quite to the levels as The Last of Us 1 was. Although the game is still a very rewarding and entertaining experience. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for watching. That's my initial raw reaction. Tune in for later in the week when I post a more in-depth reaction, where I go over the major plot points in detail. For now, I've got to replay it, get that platinum trophy, and maybe formulate my thoughts better than in this video. Stay tuned, leave a like and subscribe, stay safe.